of all, let me welcome everybody to sort of a kickoff meeting for the new year. Actually, it doesn't start until October 1st, but we are getting a head start on this game, right? You're doing a great job. We're way ahead of the game compared to last year. So, to begin with, let me just thank all of the volunteers and you all particularly for really taking time to be part of the chapter operational aspects of what we do, as well as the work that you're doing already with mentoring our clients. So I really appreciate that, and I think it's going to make a huge difference this year. The more people we get to be involved in the chapter. And we're going to go over kind of what has been talked about. We had this retreat back in July that got a lot of input as to kind of what our priorities need to be, kind of what the strategic direction should be, and kind of confirm that. We're going to go through that briefly. I'm going to introduce the new organization for the coming year. And then we're going to give each of the committee leaders an opportunity to sort of talk briefly about what their committee is about, what we're hoping maybe to achieve prior to when we start to put together our final plan for that this next year, which is something that SCORE National asked us to do along with the budget, which is due sometime in the middle part of October. So I think to that end, what we're I think going to try and accomplish today is just to kind of get a good kickoff. If we have time, what we'd like to do is maybe break out after Tom's got lunch coming at 1 o'clock, so maybe we'll try and head toward that hour as kind of a break. Once we do that, maybe we can kind of circle up into some breakout groups. And those of you that are not on a committee, we would just encourage you to maybe attach yourself to one that you think you might have an interest in, listen to what's going on. And our hope is that we can get some more people involved in some of the committees, because my mantra has been from the very beginning, we don't want committees to whine. I told all my committee leaders, if you have a committee one, it's probably not going to be a committee very long. So that's our goal here, to do that. And you all have done a great job. I really want to continue to try and focus on is that whatever work we're doing at the committee level, activities that we're thinking up and events that we're planning, that we want to make sure that these lead back to our strategic goals, right? And they're pretty straightforward. It's not something that's brand new. A lot of these we've had for a number of years, and I think they should continue to be, high on the list. So the high client satisfaction, we want to continue to build a strong base of volunteers. We want to balance that pipeline between startups and in-business clients. We're at about 50-50 now, but I think we might even be able to increase a little bit more on the in-business side. We want to balance this ability to meet the demands of mentoring, and what that really means is that we've got to be sure that if we are opening the spigot up to get more clients, we got to be able to make sure that we're balancing that with the number of volunteers that we have to do that mentoring. So it's always this balance. So as you bring opportunities to us for both, we're going to be listening as an executive committee to try and make sure that, we're not turning one spigot on and turning the other one off, or we're just trying to do that balance. And then finally, which is one of the ones that we got this year, which I think is important, is, this strong SCORE National and Raleigh chapter branding and service awareness, which is, I think you'll see that theme in some of the outreach that we're trying to do and some of the work that we think we probably need to be a little more proactive around promoting ourselves. Although I would say that, we're very fortunate here in Raleigh. We continue to have a steady stream of client requests. We do about averaging a little over 100 a month in new inquiries. So that is something that's always on my mind in terms of making sure that we have the right volunteer balance to do that. So that's really where we have our focus. The organization that we have built, again, because of the input that you all have provided, hopefully reflects that. I'm not going to go to each one, but you can kind of see that what we have tried to do is kind of put some general buckets in: financial management, client services, volunteer coordination, outreach and community relations, and communication management. But really the committees that make up those within each of those categories are in the light blue. And the folks that are on the executive committee, which we try to meet as a group once a month prior to the chapter meeting to discuss things that are going on. And I think this group will also play a really active role in kind of working with the committees and the members of those committees to ensure that we've got the right plans in place and that we can execute those plans. So fundraising is really an important aspect, but it's only related to bringing some of the event things that we want to do that we might have to spend some money on to be able to understand what that fundraising requirement is, and also kind of what's the pitch. what do we have? What are we selling? You know, to get people to fundraise beyond just SCORE's a great organization, right? Client services is just basically the umbrella of the things that we are doing relative to our mentoring activities, both for what we call aspiring mentors, and Greg Young is heading up that group that I think is going to do a great job in that area. The other part of that is certainly workshops, and Virginia and Dima have also volunteered to keep keep that thing going. Really, the person that's on the phone right now that you can't see is a vital part of that group. Really is Dee Yo. Dee's on the line here. Dee, say hello.
Hello.
There you go. Dee, I was trying to think how long you have been. I know when I started in 2017, you probably already been there a number of years. How long have you been doing this work?
I think I started with Dave Grant in 2016.
Okay.
Wow.
So she's, I don't know what we do without her. She's just kind of that cog in the wheel that just continues to help us churn out. But for those of you who don't know, Dee is our client intake coordinator, and she is instrumental in fielding all those requests that come in and being able to assign those out to the mentors. And for those that we can't find a good match for, we've got Paul Rutman has been doing a Herculean job helping us find people outside of the chapter, other SCORE members around the country to help us with clients that maybe we